All right. Hi, everybody. Can we get thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear us? Oh, I'm seeing thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right, right off the bat, thank you guys for coming. Zoom user, can you please identify yourself? We got to make sure that we know who everybody is in the chat for SYT purposes.
Apologies, I'm Christina Cubmaster, Pack 164.
No, Christina, you're looking good. There's somebody else that we are trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if mine hit my Zoom automatically assigned it.
I'm Bev York, and I help out with Mark Daniel and that group of folks. So that's just who I am.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bev. Appreciate you guys putting your unit number in the chat as well as your names. If you guys are district or council, if you have district or council positions as well, if you could list those so that when we do attendance for a roundtable, that we reflect your attendance correctly so that your unit gets credit and the district gets credit. Oh, it's Lisa. Oh, cool. One of the Rainier folks is there. Awesome. All right. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it. So we can.
Okay. You guys are up. Come on up here in front of the flag, guys. You know, just in the pledge of allegiance, the oath and the law. Now tell them. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. Scout sign. Please join me in the scout oath and law. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, cheerful, thrifty, ready, clean, and on my own, I to others. That of my country, to its capital, to help other people at all times. My soul is reached out, never away, always pray. Two.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. We want to try to get the flag out of the way.
Okay, take it away.
This should be interesting. This is why we love working with scouts.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey, I made it further. See?
Is this roundtable?
this is loud. Come on in. All right. So our safety moment this month is going to be on the Scouter Code of Conduct. Yes, you may color. Thank you, sir. So for those of you that have not seen this document, everybody that is a registered scouter, I recommend you guys look into this. You can find this on the Scouting America resource page. Basically, as scouters, we have a duty to the scouts that we serve to conduct ourselves in a manner befitting of Scouting America. So, making sure you're registered, making sure you're trained, making sure you do your best to live by the Scout Oath and Scout Law, and obeying all laws and holding others in scouting accountable to those standards. So we represent this organization, the community, and to the kids and other parents that want to take part in our program. So by living the Scout Oath, Scout Law, following SYT guidelines, making sure that we're not doing any unauthorized fundraising activities, we don't allow bullying, hazing, harassment of any kind. Basically doing your due diligence as a scouter to keep the youth safe and have a safe program, keeping the district, keeping the council out of potential liability. This is the most updated version. It says March 2021. This is the version. So, and again, you can probably see at the top, Boy Scouts of America. It's a little antiquated, but the point still stands. Not having alcoholic beverages or any substance use at a scouting event. Be familiar with this document. I encourage all unit leaders to go over this with your leaders, whether that's den leaders, your committees. If you're in a troop, if you're in a post, if you're in a crew, all of this should apply. So when we wear the uniform, we're a uniformed organization. I think it's all pretty self-explanatory. So. All right.
Thank you. So for membership bonus, we want to talk about talking to our friends about scouting. We want to make sure that we're adding a personal touch. I know Haley will tell people 24/7 all of the fun shenanigans that she does in scouting to help get her friends interested. Highlighting the adventures and stress the sense of belonging. Some of her best friends have been found in scouting, and that helps the kids really feel like they belong. Make it inviting, having fun activities to do for joining and sharing the excitement of upcoming events. We just participated in a popsicles in the park, and Haley ended up finding a kid that not only went to her school, but has a lot of the same classes and got her to join Scouts. So we're trying to launch a new unit and grabbing kids with like ideas and interests is great. We have also been doing our community county join nights, where we're doing our workshops and our kickoffs. We have 2 more coming up. We have one tomorrow at the VFW in Lacey, 318, at 6:30. And then we have one in Chehalis on 720, from 6:30 to 8:30 at the Stan Headwall Picnic Shelter in Chehalis. We've had a lot of great productive conversations about how to bring interest and recruitment to Scouts and bringing our units out to the community view. So you can join us there.
When is it? Tomorrow?
And some announcements we have. We still have the Pacific Harbors endowment donor patch for sale. We have some updates on Fred's Closet. It will be open July 18th and August 1st, 10 to 1. I know there was a lot of debate about what was going to happen during summer. So July 18th and August 1st, 10 to 1, and then going from August 15th, 10 to 1, we're going back to every other weekend, the third weekend? Third weekend of the month, not every other weekend. A reminder that popcorn show and sell orders are due in the leader portal by July 27th. And if you have any fun scouting activities going, send some pictures to the Olympic District Scribe or stories. Her email is olympicdistrictscribe@pacificharbors.org. We're trying to get those into the Olympic District newsletter to bring some more excitement.
Yeah, I just submitted the pictures from our kids. We're doing parade for the 4th of July. So hopefully our 267 pack will be in the current upcoming newsletter.
And then we do have the launch of our high adventure roundtable, July 27th. It will be virtual only. The invite is on the calendar, and you will have a guest speaker talking about all the different high adventure camps that we have opportunities to go to. He has attended them all and is super knowledgeable.
Who is that?
Mark.
Mark. Yeah.
And Mark Daniel, I'm gonna do your recognition.
Alrighty, so we have some recognitions this month. I know Richard Charles isn't here in person, but you are here online. So I do have your commissioning certificate for being a unit commissioner for the units in Yelm. So I will get you that when you have. I also have your commissioner patch. Over the last couple weeks, the VFW handed out some of their awards. So one of our district executives for VFW Post 318, Crystal Beeler, she got VFW Scout Volunteer of the Year for the Department of Washington. Our district chairman, Matt McQuilton, got VFW Scout Leader of the Year for the Department of Washington. And then Charles McLean got the VFW Scouter Achievement Award, which is the accumulative of the Scouting America Community Organization Award for scouting national wide. So he gets a nod for that, and I will get him that nod. Now, to the one person that is present this year for the Department of Washington and representing Cub Scout Pack 4014 and Olympic District and Pacific Harbor Council, Darby Brazel got the VFW Cub Scout of the Year.
Yeah.
Mark Daniel also got Department of Washington VFW Scouter Achievement Award for the year. You do the work, you get recognized.
I know, but you don't recognize yourself.
This time. Okay. Looking for announcements. We still have the Pacific Harbor Trek Series going. I got to see one of the patches in person today, and they turned out pretty cool. So you can go online and register for those. We are offering a short-term camp administrator training. August 8th, 9 to 6 here at Thunderbird. And it will be $75 per participant.
And I'll be attending that one. So if you guys want to come hang out with me and become a short-term camp administrator, come cute.
And one thing that I've heard a lot of need for is ILS training, and we have one offered August 28th to the 30th. A couple have gotten canceled. So sign up and encourage everybody to go, because I've heard a lot of interest to go to ILS from our kickoffs and a lot of leaders that still need it. So yeah.
Do that thing. Oh, so BB Range Master Training. So when we put in these activities and training opportunities, we only have these 3 because these are the only things that are happening between now and our next roundtable. So there's actually going to be a training. Actually, the 19th is the day after the Range Master Training. So that's our next roundtable. But the BB Range Master Training, it's free. Who doesn't love free training? That's going to be at the council office, and it's, did I say free? Did I mention it was free? So I think it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. In Tacoma. The catch is we're coming up into the Washington State Fair season. So the ask is that if you come and receive this BB gun range master training, volunteer for a shift at the fall fair. I know that those folks get kind of exhausted doing multiple rotation. So having some new blood in there helping run the BB ranges at the fair, it helps with networking. It helps allow kids at the fair to be able to get exposure to doing the BB range. It also helps advertise the council and the district and get more kids into scouting. So there's a multi-pronged reason for you to come attend this free training on August 18th. And with that, we're gonna be going into our hot topic, which is dun, 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 summertime fun. So this is for the Cub Scout units. So summertime fun is an adventure that goes across several different ranks. So this is one of the few activities that you can knock out as a unit. It's pretty simple. Anytime during May through August, participate in a total of 3 Cub Scout activities. So this is from Tiger all the way through AOL. You guys can find this. We'll send out these flyers as well. But basically, it's pretty simple. It's keeping your units engaged during the slow part of the year, quote unquote slow. You know, whether you're going to summer camp, whether you're going to day camps, resident camps, far away. If you're just doing unit nights, pack meetings, stuff like that. This is a way that you guys can still keep earning your awards and getting more belt loops to work towards your super achiever.
Okay, now I want to introduce our special guest tonight. For Scouting Alumni, we have Michael Smith, the Pacific Harbors Council Alumni Chairman, talking about our alumni.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to come down and join you this evening. I want to thank everyone who has made themselves available here in the room as well as on Zoom for taking time out of your busy schedules to take in all this great information. I am the fairly new Vice President of Alumni Engagement here for the Pacific Harbors Council, and I'm going to share a little bit about what does that mean, who is an alumni, why does that matter, and sort of what are we hoping to accomplish here within the Scouting Alumni program. I'll have a couple of handouts for those in the room, and I think we have a PDF version that we can share in the chat for anybody who's watching on Zoom here. You know, in reality here, alumni is sort of an untapped resource or an undertapped resource. We all came to scouting through one channel or another. We might have been scouts as a youth. I certainly was. I was a Cub Scout. I crossed over and joined a Boy Scout troop. I went all the way until I aged out at 18. From then, it was a pretty long break before I got back to the scouting program. It wasn't until my son was old enough to join a Cub Scout pack. And it's a common story. We joined when he was Tiger level. And the question went out, hey, we need a den leader. Who can help out and be a den leader? And so that rekindled my involvement here as a volunteer. And so between my time as a youth and my time as a volunteer now, I'm clocked in around 20 years of registration with scouting, and I'm pretty proud of that, and hopefully there'll be a lot more. I kind of tell that story because, you know, that's a common story for a lot of us who are engaged as volunteers at this level. And so when we start thinking about our first question here is who is a scouting alumni? It's really almost anyone. We define alumni pretty broadly here because it's going to be inclusive of anyone who's sort of been in the program as a youth member. It's anyone who has volunteered as an adult in a variety of different capacities. It's the parent or family member of someone who's been engaged in the scouting program. And it's also anybody who has been a member of the community who has seen the positive impacts that scouting has on the community and the world around them. So we intentionally define scouting alumni to be a pretty broad category because scouting touches so many different areas. One of the things I like to point out, though, when we talk about scouting alumni is we want to be really inclusive. We're not just focused on those folks who have achieved an Eagle Scout award or have, you know, met certain requirements to be gone through different training programs. It really is pretty broad. So, as we look at it, we're finding that there's a lot of folks, and pretty much everyone in the room here qualified as scouting alumni. But one of the things that we're really looking for are those folks who are not currently registered with scouting. We're really focused on trying to reach out to those folks who have a past connection, but just don't currently have an active involvement. And our number one job is to try to go out and identify those folks and welcome them back to the campfire. And if you've ever seen the Scouting Alumni logo, there's this great image of a campfire with the rocks around it. And oddly enough, there's one rock for each point of our Scout law. And so a lot of symbolism packed into that. And welcome back to the campfire is kind of one of those motifs that we see a lot in our Scouting Alumni materials. And we want to be welcoming. We want to welcome folks to come back and share with us, what their experience was like, and, be inviting so that they can choose a new path as to how they engage with our current scouting world. So the materials that went out here, you can see a little bit who is part of Scouting Alumni. And we have about 30 million or more living alumni that we estimate within the scouting movement in the United States alone. And fair to say that we probably don't have quite that many registered. And I think we want to change that as best we can. A lot of it's an awareness problem. Many people will leave our scouting program and go off to college or vocational programs or the workforce, and they just lose touch. It was a part of their childhood and they've kind of moved on. And we want to open the door and let them know that it doesn't have to be that way. There's a space for them to be able to come back and connect with our youth today and give back to the program that hopefully was instrumental for them in their lives. When we're reaching out to these folks, the biggest problem we have is we have lists of scouts who used to be in the program, but all of that information is likely outdated. We have a very mobile society and people are picking up and moving all across the country. And so the first problem that we have is trying to locate and identify people because contact information is out of date, it's incomplete. And so we're going to talk about a number of strategies about that as we go forward with our chat today. Why does contacting alumni matter? For me, it boils down to it's all about people, it's about passion, it's about partnerships and philanthropy. So let's focus on the people part first. These are individuals who have been through our program. They know our values, they know what we are all about. It's great to identify those folks because they get us. They understand who we are and what we're about. We don't have to do a lot of training for them to understand the impact that we have. When we engage those folks, we can welcome them back and give them opportunities to find ways to maybe give back. Some may choose to be volunteers again, whether it's helping with a unit event, a district event, a council event, where they just come and help out for the day. Maybe they take the leap and they become more of an active adult leader and find a role within a committee or a unit somewhere, understanding that they may not have a child in the program, and so we'll see what kind of involvement they want to have. But we're looking for ways just to kind of get them back involved from the people standpoint. The passion part of things. If you've ever spent time at a popcorn sale and someone comes over and just says, well, I used to be in scouting, they want to share a story with you. There is usually something that stood out for them, some camp out, some campfire skit, the Pinewood Derby. All of these bring these strong memories back, all these strong emotions back. There's a lot of passion that scouting has instilled in us. We want to capture some of that passion. Because those folks make great ambassadors of the scouting program. They can really share their stories, share their experiences, and just kind of get some momentum going. What they offer is, I've been through the program and now I've joined the world ahead, and I can share what scouting can do to lead you down that path. Maybe it helped them find a job, choose a college, build a relationship or find a hobby that was important to them. And all of that just helps to connect our present youth with what scouting can accomplish moving ahead in the future. that passion, those stories that they can share helps us with volunteers, helps the youth move forward, and also helps with recruitment because it gives us a lot of good marketing collateral that we can put out on social media and publications and share that. So there's a lot of purposes behind this. And that's a good segue here to partnerships, because those folks who have been in scouting, who have gone on and found great work and opportunities, they've built networks. I'd love to tap into that a little bit. Share with me who you know and where scouting has taken you. Maybe you've started your own business. Maybe you have taken your helping other people to the point where you're serving your community in a variety of different ways. Scouting shows up in a lot of different formats as our youth reach adulthood, and we just love to be able to see that and show you off as role models what potential available here is for our youth. Beyond that, if you are in a job and you need to hire someone, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the skills, the traits, and the qualities that our scouts possess? I think you probably are, because we're raising a pretty good crop here of leaders and well capable folks. If you've ever been around the youth who are helping run the summer camp here at Camp Thunderbird, amazing group of folks. If you've ever had the chance of watching them staff the National Youth Leadership Training Program, NYLT, and other standout group of individuals, our youth have a lot to offer the workforce. And so I want to help kind of connect those dots and build those bridges from our current program to those who are out of our programs. The last P that I mentioned here, the philanthropy part, of course, we're always looking at our bottom line, and people have a variety of things that they can give. Often you'll hear the phrase, they can give their time, their talent, or their treasure. And I think that's meaningful. I'm also going to add another T to that list. They can share their tales, the stories of what they've accomplished, where they've been, where things have taken them. All of these things are valuable to us. So however folks want to kind of come back to the campfire here of Scouting America and offer up anything that they might have here to offer, whether it's the time, the talent, and maybe sharing their wisdom and their knowledge as a assistant to a merit badge counselor, or becoming a volunteer, or if it's easier just to kind of reach into their pocketbook and pull out a credit card and make a donation every so often, we're certainly not going to say no to that. Now, as I say that, I want people to know that the role that I'm having here with Scouting Alumni, we are never going to ask somebody for a donation right out of the gate. I do not want to scare off anybody who thinks this is all about some kind of a money grab. This is really a role where we're trying to build relationships again. We want to be very welcoming, inviting, find ways that people want to come back and how they want to share their abilities. Like I said, if they want to give, great, but that's not going to be my first ask. That's going to be after we know that they're back in the fold and they're willing to kind of help out. Because while I don't ask that right out of the gate, I'm a big believer in equal opportunity. Everyone should be asked, everyone should have the opportunity to give, let them decide what that's going to look like. So we've announced, or we've described here, a number of the benefits that can happen by bringing alumni back into the scouting community here. That can also show up in a few other ways too. There can be ways where it helps the unit, helps the district, helps the council. One of our biggest problems that we're constantly facing is we have too few volunteers being taken on too many jobs, and we're getting burned out. And so I think if we can find those folks who share our values, understand what we're all about, who may be able to come in on some kind of a basis and help out in some ways, might help to help ease that burden and shoulder the load. We always talk about having, many hands to make the light work. But finding those folks is a challenge. Yes, we go to our parents of scouts who are joining the program. Yes, we're tapping those folks who show that they have capabilities. But that's where we start to always winnow down and just get the select few who end up being overburdened. So part of the Scouting Alumni Committee is to try to broaden the tent and bring more folks into the fold here to find out what can they do, what do they want to do, what are different ways they want to help. I know that as an individual who is now reaching a certain age, that I'm looking for more opportunities to make my life more meaningful. Mm-hmm. And scouting has always been an opportunity for me to kind of provide value, provide that sense of purpose. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone that we reach a certain age and a certain stage in our life where we want to make sure that the time and the commitments that we make a difference. And we want to offer that up for anyone who's been through our program before, who may be looking for ways to serve and give back. And there's a variety of positions that are always going to be in need. I'm going to call out Mark Daniel here because he's done a great job of reaching out to some alumni to help fill his commissioner for in these neck of the woods here. So he's a big believer in this, and not just a believer, but an advocate and a current practitioner. So thank you. So as we look for ways to offer opportunities for volunteering, one of the things I think is helpful is if you're in a unit, if you're on a committee, if you're at a district or council level, what are some of the things that you need help with? What are some of the asks that you would have? If you would be willing to write out a short job description, I need somebody who can do X, Y, and Z. It's going to take roughly this many hours on this regular basis. It may be one time, it may be monthly, it may be a year-long commitment. But that's going to help me build sort of the want pages, the help wanted pages for our alumni, so that they can know, hey, I want to help out. What do you need? We can now start putting people and in contact with folks to say, you need this, I'm willing to do that. Great, let's see if we can have a match. So that's one of the things I think I would ask everyone to be thinking about. Where are the opportunities that you need assistance so that we can start making that happen? Now, on the material that I've shared with you here, the back of page 1 is sort of our first major step that we're going to take as the alumni committee. I'm calling it the scouting census. Okay, so this is an opportunity where we have a lot of stale information about people who are been through our program, and we want to invite them to come back and sort of refresh their information with us and build momentum. Now, this is in the beta testing mode, so this hasn't gone live yet for the whole community, but I thought I'd share it here today with some close friends. If you scan the QR code, it's going to take you to a Google form. There are 4 sections to that form. We're asking, what did you do, or who are you now? How do we get a hold of you, and who are you in your present form? The second page is going to talk about, well, who were you when you were in scouting, and what was your connection to scouting? And the third page talks about, well, what has scouting taken you? What are you doing in your world right now? What kind of work experience, life experience have you gained? And then the fourth page says, how would you like to stay connected? What information would you like to hear from us on an ongoing basis so that we can cater information and match them up with what their interests are? Now, the grand vision behind the census here is we're going to try to build in a lot more communications that come directly from it. Once someone identifies, here's who I am, here's what I'm interested in, now we want to start trickling out information on a regular basis so they start feeling connected. We'll start building out events where people can come and visit in person, maybe with a Zoom component for those who can't travel to whatever destination is selected. But we're trying to build an opportunity for them to have fellowship with their fellow Scout and alumni. It's a long process. It's going to be a series of things that we're building out here. So we don't expect they're going to be overnight, success stories, but it's going to be one step along the way. I'm doing a lot of talking. Let me open it up to see if anyone's got any questions so far.
So is this census, is this a council specific project, or is this?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, this is sort of my brainchild here that
Okay.
we've been holding on to for a while, and we're trying to release it out into the wild here and see what kind of traction we get with it.
So it would be something that we would be like, so like as scouters, we would, when it does go live, we would share it on like our personal, like Facebook pages to maybe reach our friends who made previous scouters, or would go on next or things like that.
Yeah, exactly. We're looking for this to kind of build its own momentum, but what we want is one sort of centralized place where people can turn to start getting connected. But yes, we would want everyone to reach out to their coworkers. Who's the scout that I work with? Who's the scout in my neighborhood? And once you sort of identify those folks, you can share this and say, well, would you mind sharing that? We're just trying to figure out who in our community, how many former scouts do we have in our community? I'd like to be able to post regular updates, different zip codes and who's got, a lot of scouts, or which businesses are employing the most number of scouts, and maybe some healthy competition going here. Make it fun, make it something that people want to take part in and share their positive experiences. From this, one of the first things that we would do is, yeah, please share a story. What was your favorite camp? What was your favorite, summer camp? What merit badge did you work on? Did you ever win the Pinewood Derby? Do you have a picture of you as a scout and you now? What's the then and now kind of aspect of this? So there's a lot of ways that we're trying to, get this to be a fun event and get them to willing to share. I think once we can establish some of that, we'll really be able to kind of formalize some of the storytelling that we want to do. I think that units that have lists of past members could start contacting those folks, inviting them to come through this census material as their point of entry. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to kind of engage with people.
So your QR code is active now?
It should be active now, yeah. I'd love to get some responses. I'll give you guys a few days through the weekend or something like that, just to test it out. What I'm really looking for at this point here is some feedback. I want to make sure that what we're asking is not too invasive, open-ended enough, that I haven't phrased things in an odd or weird way. So I'd love some early feedback here so we can continue the refinement process before we release it to a wider audience. There's going to also be some automatic emails kind of leading into this and leading out of this. So we have these lists of past members. What we want to do is reach out to them just to say, hey, come visit this. We're trying to get a count of how many people we have in our community and sort of where they've ended up. And that gives them this opportunity. And then coming out of this census form that they'll answer questions on, we'll start leading out into, these are some of the opportunities. Where do you find yourself maybe wanting to plug in and get connected? Maybe we can introduce you to some people or some events or opportunities to kind of get to know each other and start building that relationship again and welcoming you back to the campfire, so to speak.
So, Michael, last month when Chris was here, we had a question, and it was kind of specific to Olympic District and Lewis County area, because they're trying to build their membership in Lewis County. And they asked about finding the Eagle Scouts in that area. And I was like, well, that we could use the Spark database, but like you said, it's kind of, when me and Mariah and Ada tried to use that to help with the membership, it's very outdated. So is this kind of like what we're going to use to build it within the council?
Great question. And I watched the YouTube from last month's presentation. I got to hear that question. So I was anticipating something like that, and you delivered. So thank you. Yeah, this is the first step. By asking, part of the questionnaire is going to ask about how do we get a hold of you? We're asking definitely for an email address. And if people are willing to share any of their address information, we welcome it. We don't make that a required field at this point. My experience with any kind of forms is if you require too many things, people are just going to give up and walk away. And I'd rather get something than nothing. So we're going to welcome people to share as much as they want. The Spark database that you talk about here, that's a national thing. That's the Scouting Alumni nationwide network. We do want people to register. As a user of that database, it can be a little overwhelming and a little unwieldy to be able to operate and find exactly what you want. It's also sort of at the mercy of how much have people shared. A lot of times you can go in and you can put all your information in and then just say, keep it private. I don't want outsiders to contact me. And so you may see a name pop up, but you don't know anything about them because they want to keep their information private. I get it, I respect that, but that's one of the limitations for the use that you have in mind, is maybe we're not getting the folks that we're hoping to reach because of that. If this rolls out really well, there has been a little bit of discussion about the potential of a database. We're too early to decide if we want to try to do something on our own. But we want this to be a starting point of how we sort of start generating a fresh list of people who have volunteered to disclose themselves as, I'm in your area, I want to learn more, and this is what I'm curious about.
So there isn't currently a database within council.
There's a variety of forms of information. And, you know, I have seen a list of Eagle Scouts, and it is from the dawn of time until a few months ago. And so I think there's no joke, like 10,000 or more listings on this. And so a lot of that information is coming right out of their board of review, whatever their address or contact information was as of that time. Now, obviously, they're earning the award as a youth, and then they go off and they're, you know, becoming an adult and doing all the adult things of moving around and school and whatnot and work, and a lot of it's outdated. So it's of great historic use value. It's nice to know who these folks are, and what unit they are, and when they earned it, and all that. But from the standpoint of reaching out and saying, "Hi, would you like to come back and have some opportunities and experiences?" It's a little bit limited.
Question. Okay, so for instance, I have an 18-year-old who, I mean, he'll stay registered with his brother's unit so he can stay in the OA. Is this something that we want them to fill out? Because he's about to launch, you know, and, you know, a lot of his friends the same. So they will end up like, he's going to die. So he's not even being state.
Yeah, I would welcome everyone to take part in this, and because really what we're trying to see is, it's great to turn around and say, you know, we are running a great program, and that's another thing to say, we're running a great program, and here is what the impact is 5 years, 10 years, 20, 50 years out from what they did as a youth. So the stories that we'll hopefully be able to capture and share is going to help show the magnitude of what our program does, not just for the individual, but for the communities that they're from and where they end up. So I would encourage everybody to take part in it.
Okay.
Part of the questions we ask is we do seek out what their birthday is, so that way we can track ages. We know if we've got young folks or adults. That helps us to make sure that we're staying compliant with any safeguarding youth standards and any of our communication. We're also looking to see if they're currently registered. If they're unregistered, again, we're trying to find those folks who don't have a connection right now and bring them back to the fold. Now, a lot of our registered folks, they're going to be our gateway. You're going to help us, hopefully, in doing some of that. And to reward you for all of your efforts here, we have the Alumni Award. And I've included the application that shows you all the different requirements on this. It's pretty straightforward. There's different categories here of activities that we encourage our registered scouters to go through. It's all about helping alumni share their memories of scouting, helping with marketing activities and getting words and images out to help spread the word, looking for mentoring opportunities, helping to grow membership, adding manpower, right? Like people power, but manpower starts with the M, and we're being consistent on the M theme here. And then encouraging adding resources to scouting, which is all about money. And so again, another M word. This is a fairly straightforward thing. It's easily attainable if anyone wants to get involved and start doing these things. We're going to have some further trainings built out on this, so that way as people learn more about what we're doing, there's one point of contact that they can go to and do a very quick brief training on what that takes, answer some basic common questions on that, and then go forth and start asking people, hey, were you in scouting, and getting them through our funnel that we're building here with the census form. And Mark Daniel, I believe you have the Alumni Award on your.
I do have it on my own. Not here.
Yeah, so I don't see too many of those in the wild at this point in time, but I'm hoping it becomes really commonplace in the next few years. Yeah, for those who have not seen it before, it's the really colorful one, and I have a picture of it. It is. It's a really nice looking award.
The camera.
Oh, yeah,
This might be a little easier to see for everyone in the room. And if you can see this, this is the Alumni Award knot that you can earn by going through some of these steps here. So this is readily available if anyone goes to scoutingalumni.org. There's keeping the requirements up to date. And then there's other opportunities that Scouting Alumni committees have to recognize volunteers as well as alumni. One of the things that we have here is keeping track of people's years of service in scouting. And they can be recognized at the 25-year, 50-year, or 75-year achievements. And I'd love people to kind of check with their units to see, some of their volunteers, how long have they been with the program? Because we'd love to start scheduling some service opportunities to come out and award that. That's one of the requirements on the alumni award. Not requirements is to take part in presenting these kinds of things. So the more we know about people who deserve this recognition, the more we want to make that happen. And if people are interested in doing the knots, we'd love to pair those folks up with those opportunities so they can go out and help accomplish that. And it's all good work here to recognize folks. Yeah.
Darren wants to add that the years and increments are available in 5. The years are available in 5.
Not for that one.
Yeah, I believe that's a different recognition.
Is that for the veteran?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't come up with a term on that.
Sorry, I misunderstood you. But yeah, for years of service or years registered, you can get 5, 10, 15, 20. Sorry about that.
No, I appreciate you calling out another way to recognize our dedicated volunteers, Darren. Thank you for that.
That one, you don't have to be a registered leader.
No, that could be cool, which was partly why I asked about what council has, because I was in council, but I wasn't an Eagle Scout. I didn't make Eagle, so I wasn't sure if any of that was captured, because we're doing it as a unit. And we're trying to figure out like, okay, I was in this pack from this time, and then I was in this troop from this time. It would be nice if there was just a, hey, council, do you have any record from the 1990s for this information?
I'm not sure how readily available that would be. And as this gets passed around here, when they talk about the years of service here, this specifically calls out, this is on the honor system. Scouts are trustworthy. And so if you do your best to estimate when you were a scout, there's really not going to be a lot of scrutiny to say, well, wait a minute, you're actually 4 months short. And so we do want to try to help be realistic about, what information is available and how foggy our memories get with time.
In Olympic District at our recognition banquet, we gave out 3 75s this year.
Wow.
And 125. I think we gave one to Lee Tomlinson, who has, I know, probably more than 75 years. Charles McLean, who's both of those guys are 86 years old, and then Bill Wickwire got one, and then we gave one to another gentleman for 25 years, which is trying to get that, like you said, back out into the so people could see him. And actually, Darren, that's Darren Lee Thompson's Darren's uncle, so he presented it to him at the banquet.
That's great. And I think finding those meaningful connection points, whether it's from a member of the current unit to where they were from or where they give their service, is wonderful. Family connections are wonderful. So we welcome all of that. The medals are really impressive if you see them in person, and on the back side, there's enough space that you can do some engraving if you really want to kind of personalize it and give some thanks to people. I believe the medals are about $25. There's also a lapel pin. I believe that's $10. I think it'd be great if units or organizations that start to recognize their volunteers, they can do a little fundraising, make sure that that's truly, a gift and an award given to someone, and they don't have to pay for it out of pocket. But anyone who wants to self-pay for their own work can certainly do so too. So there's a lot of things that we're doing, or a lot of things that we have on our plate to try to do. If this sounds of interest to you, my contact information is on the page that I passed out here. michael.thomas.smith@gmail.com. Reach out to me. We'd love to start building out our team a little bit. I imagine in the next couple of months, once summer camp kind of ends for a lot of our units and we start to regroup here, you'll probably see some announcements for some regular alumni committee meetings. We're still looking to figure out what date might work for most folks. But anyone's gonna be welcome to come check that out and find ways that they want to connect if this is of interest to you. Again, our job is to try to find more volunteers rather than adding them to your plate, but certainly there may be some small things you can come in and help out from time to time.
Thank you for that community.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
That is what we are.
What we are.
Kind of what we bring to the
I
table.
love it.
So there's Michael's contact information for everybody. I don't want to copy and paste it in the chat, so there it is.
Nice and easy. Appreciate it.
Yay.
I'll turn things back over to you.
We can do our commission minutes.
So for this month's commissioner minute, I want to kind of go into what Michael has talked about and growing it, right? Like he said I got the pin, right? It has Baden Powell on it, right? So like we learned in Woodbat, we start from that little acorn, right? And we grow scouting and we grow and we either start as a Cub Scout or like, I know we have some females in scouting now that, now have the opportunity, but they, anytime you help scouting, if you were a teacher, if you were, a merit badge counselor, they can come back in and help, but right? We're trying to grow that tree, just like we would grow our family tree, right? And so I know that, that everybody that is attending, almost everybody is a registered scouter. But that's how, like Michael said, we start and we work our way out. And I know that Olympic District's commissioner team is always looking for alumni to help build our team, and that's how we built a lot of our commissioner corps and brought them back in. And so I will end that, but I know I brought something special for Mariah to give out to everybody that came because we give out dangles, right? And we thought it would be appropriate to give out a tree because we're growing from an acorn into a oak tree, right? Thank you guys.
Except it's the tree of life, and I feel like we're all champions. So that's why I said. Really quick, a couple reminders. We have our next roundtable, August 19th, here at Dale O. We are working on budgeting for units. So if you want to talk money, we can come talk with Michelle. So, and then I will be working the Grace Harbor Fair the last weekend of July in a couple weeks. If you want to come out and volunteer and help, I would love that. Because I'm there the whole time. I don't know, some crazy person got me to sign up for that. And there's also an update in our unit pins. You can include a lot more information and there's a lot more buttons to click. The unit pin, you can update it now, but it won't go live until August. So take a peek in there because having an accurate, up-to-date unit pins is huge and important.
And that's something that your unit commissioner should be going over with you guys as well. So your unit key 3, make sure that you're doing your unit pin, making sure they're accurate to what your real meeting location is, not where we used to meet back in the day at some church or some Grange or wherever. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot more customization. So when your unit meets, what else was there? There was a couple of different new drop-down menus.
Yes,
Mark, do you remember that?
yes, it is dues. If your unit
Oh, you
is
know,
dues,
dues, that's huge.
if your unit is weekly or bi-weekly, you can put that now. Basically, they took the comment section and they took what people had in the comment section and divvied it all out into different selective activities.
Good to know. Having good quality information. Super great. And everybody that's come to the kickoff so far, I've checked their unit pin while they're sitting right there with them to enact.
That is something else that I want to put out as the district commissioner. I know we always go to meetings and we have this thing that's 1 hour, 1 hour a week, but we are having these membership kickoffs. They are really to help the units and help membership grow. So please, if you can, please attend the one tomorrow or the one in Chehalis. We had one in Grace Harbor and we had one in Tenino. If you can make it, I'm hoping that tomorrow's will be a big one since it's centered in Olympia. please, talk to your units and get them to come out for that event and learn what we're trying to do and what, the membership team, which is part of alumni, but also what the membership team and what, Olympic District is trying to build and grow with our, with Scouting America and the and the program, because, we, like, we want to make better youth, right? We want to encourage youth to sign up so they can learn, our 12 points of the law, and we can make better humans, right? So please come out to those events.
Is there a Zoom link for that? Some of us have unit meeting on Thursday nights. I think there'll be a lot of units meeting on Thursdays.
We do not, and that's why we had 4 or 5 of them scheduled on different days of the week. But we are planning to do a one in the fall, which will be here at Thunderbird, and it will be, this is the prep for fall kickoff. We will have another one in fall, but we want people to go to these ones, right? And we're working on a Zoom. We have seen, how effective it has been recently for the units that have been, because like Mariah said, we're updating the pins, and some of those units didn't even know how to get into their pin or update their pins. So we are seeing in Olympic District and Rainier District the benefit of having these membership kickoffs. Rainier hasn't had theirs yet, but they've seen the effectiveness that we've had in the few units that we had in our last, because we just had a council membership meeting last Friday. I think it was last Friday. The Rebecca Bader, the council membership chairman, took a lot of the notes from what Mariah and myself and Ada put out. So the information that we are getting in these kickoffs, they are going back, and it is getting to the people at council that need to know, and the board is hearing exactly what you guys want to hear and what you guys want to
Mr. McQuilton, do you have anything you'd like to join in with?
I'm good, thank you. Just catching the end of it.
Make sure to sign in the chat.
Here's your certificate.
Ooh.
Great.
Thank you.
I think that's all we have. If you have any questions, we'll linger open for a few more minutes, but.
Yeah, feel free to hop on, ask questions.
If you have any questions for Michael, ask him while we have them.
We're always looking for feedback too. So if there's anything that you guys would like to see in these district roundtables, if you're in the Facebook Olympic District group, we post a flyer in there. So all of us are in there. If there's things that you would like to see, topics you would like to discuss, if you'd like to come and be a part and help present like Michael did tonight, reach out to us. We would love to have you and make a more cohesive, larger district roundtable. So with that, it is opened up to the floor for everybody.
This is Darren. I just want to say thank you all. I know it's July. Usually roundtables aren't held in July, but you guys still had pretty good attendance, so thank you for that. And if there's anything, I know you guys have Tyler, but if there's anything that he may not be able to provide, or if you have questions or anything, you can always call me or email me or anything. I'm always available. And I'll work it through Tyler if I need to, but I'm also available. I'm one of your resources. So please let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Thank you, Darren. We appreciate that. See, if you guys attended in person, you can get these full dangles. So remember, August 19th, same room, you could get a cool, ooh, shiny. Ooh, look at that. Oh, man. So mark in your calendars, if you're available August 19th here in DLO. We'd love to have you. Yes.
Stephen, how did that happen?
I'm sorry, he's not an AOL yet. The child is 7. Some people's kids, I swear. With that, Mariah is distracted, so.
What?
No.
We're just listening.
Also, I know some people on Facebook, wanted to know about the recordings being posted on the, district page. It's, right now, there's been a lag in Zoom, and so what happens is it goes, after it's done here and we're done, it records, and it takes 24 to 72 hours for it to upload onto the district computer on the cloud, and once that happens, then it goes to, Tyler, and he sends it to me and Mariah, and we upload it onto YouTube. So that is the reason why there has been such a lag. Sometimes we don't get it back from Zoom until a week or so later. So I just wanted to make sure that we know, because we are trying to put them up as fast as possible.
All right. Yeah, so thank you guys for attending. We hope to see you next month. Have a good, safe summer in July and the rest of it, if you're going resident camp or wherever you may go. So take care.
Thank you.